Have you ever wanted to tap into the high-level players and extract the essential tips and tricks to get better at playing at Civ? Well, sit back and relax because I take on the challenge to do just that. Welcome to the Masterclass series. Let's do this. Hey YouTube, it's your boy Widgie here, and I've got another edition of the Masterclass, and we're going to be looking at Japan today, and I have with me the legendary Hazza. Hazza, how you doing, man?
Yeah, good, thank you. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad. So I heard that your name is also like H as well. What is the preferred name nowadays for yourself?
Hazza. Like
Hazza.
I was like testing the waters with the H, but yeah, it's not natural to me anymore. So yeah, I think it's still Hazza.
Awesome. As I say, it's a real pleasure to be able to, chat with you around Japan. Obviously, a lot of people know you within the community for many years. And I thought the first question, perfect question to start off, is what's your history with AoE 3 and a little bit about yourself and how you got into the game?
Okay, so I initially got it when I was 10 years old for Christmas or so. I think it was a Christmas or a birthday. And yep. I think I played it for like 2 or 3 weeks. And I was that guy that played against the sandbox AI and made like 50 Imperial Janissaries and right-clicked an enemy's TC. But I did that for like 2 or 3 weeks, and then I just dropped it completely, forgot about the game completely. And then I think I was like either 16 or 17. It was like end of 2013. And that's when I saw Interjection upload, actually. I think it was titled The Closest Game Ever on YouTube.
Yep.
I think at the time it had like 60k viewers.
Oh wow!
So I was just like, dang, okay. I remember playing this game, and then it was like the most amazing game ever. I think it was between like Darwin Giovanni and Musket Jr., like really old school players.
Yeah.
And I was just like, okay, I want to get back into this game again.
Fantastic.
And obviously, like people know me for my Russia as well.
Yeah.
Like Russia and Japan are like my two mains. So I picked up Russia then. And I played exclusively Russia for at least a year or so before I switched to other civs.
Fantastic. So like, that is a commitment right there. That is a commitment.
Yeah, literally. I don't know. I just like spamming infantry, cheap, big army,
Awesome. Okay, so moving on to the second part of the interview then. So for everyone playing, no matter what their skill level is, what's one sort of general tip or advice you could give to any player playing any kind of civ?
Oh, I don't know actually. I know there's a lack of scouting in this game, but I think also just line of sight in general is underutilized.
Yeah.
So like even building like a house a little bit far away. Let's say you're gathering a hunt or a mine quite far out. And there's no garrison point. If you like build a manor like towards like where your enemy's most likely to come from, and then back to the mine, it gives you that extra 2 or 3 seconds to react to any units coming your way. So
yeah, that's an interesting one. Yeah, I mean, as I say, like that's kind of the first time I've actually heard that, but I know people do mention it from time to time, especially with like specific buildings that can give you really good line of sight, making sure to get it out on the map.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's not like it's hard to pull off, right? You just build a house slightly away from the mine or the hunt.
Yeah.
Like that's why I think it's a good thing for all skill levels, because anyone can do it. So, and it's just such a little thing that makes a big difference, I think.
Yeah. Awesome. Fantastic. So moving on to Japan itself then. So 3 specific tips for Japan. Do you want to give me your first one?
Okay, so first one I'd say would be... It's a hard question, really. But yeah, in general, I think port consulate starts are not so good anymore.
Right.
And
okay.
You should go market in 2 shrines. So basically, as you have 300 wood, 100 coin start, you can buy wood and gather enough. So you gather enough coin to buy wood, so 125, and then you need another 25 to get the first food upgrade. So that allows you to get 2 shrines and the first hunting upgrade. And that just makes you age a bit faster, and your early game eco is a lot better than if you were to go port consulate start, for example.
Fantastic.
So that'd be tip number 1.
Yep.
Tip number 2, if you're on a C map, that is the one time I'd consider going port consulate. Because that's where, and it's like if there's like 2 separate waters, you can have like 3 boats from the shipment on one side and then 3 boats from the port consulate on the other, and that way, like if he wants to ship caravels, he only kills 3 boats instead of 6.
Yeah.
But it's more like it's like basically it's like 6 vills unidled, right? So if someone's under your TC, you still got 6 vills and the shrines gathering. So, and it saves your orchards, so you can send your orchards 1 shipment later. So you can send either upgrades or whatever you need. So I definitely recommend only going port consulate on sea maps.
Fantastic. And what's your final one? Hit us with it.
Let me think about this for a second.
Yeah, sure.
Excuse me. Let me mute that. Apologies.
That's all right.
And in general, I think going Ashinagi is the general better composition for Japan. It's just so mobile, so tanky, and it's a much better way sometimes to deal with falconets than just shipping flaming arrows, because then you just don't have enough standard units to defend them, and then they just get overrun. So I do recommend going Ashinagi in H3, because especially with the nerf to Yumis, I definitely think going heavier on anti-cav, it's much stronger in this current meta.
I've seen that across the board with other civs as well, to be honest. The kind of Musk Huss is seen as quite a decent composition now. So,
and Japan is like Musk Huss on steroids, right? The Musk is faster and the Cav is tankier. And if you have the Pavilion on HP, the Nagis stay up much longer than they normally do. So
fantastic. Awesome.
Yeah.
There we go. Nice. 3 quick, straight in there with those tips. Fantastic. As I say, a couple of those kind of unusual. A lot of people would have thought port cons is like something that, is still something that you should always kind of go for on land maps and stuff like that. So it's interesting you mentioning a different kind of approach that should hopefully be better for players trying to get better with the civ. So the final bit then for me for this sort of masterclass is, of course, what is your kind of favorite meme kind of fun build that you've done in the past with Japan, or you've maybe recently done with them?
So I haven't done this in a very long time, but I remember doing so I actually got inspired by Prince by this. He actually destroyed me with it when I was a captain. It's basically like a daimyo Sohi build. The Nat pikemen, you can ship like 11 of them for like 500 coin in H2.
Oh, right, okay.
And obviously with the daimyo, you can pop them out like at the daimyo. So you just run so you have like a bunch of ashies, you run them in, and then like you run the daimyo, and then you just pop the pikes on top of like anything that they have, and snare and siege stuff. So it's kind of like one of those all-in right-click TC sort of strats, where it's just like Ashi plus daimyo plus the 11 Sohi.
So those pikemen, is that a card? Is that a home city card that you need for that?
Yeah, I think it's 500 coin.
Right. Okay.
Let me double check. I'm actually in game right now, so I can check that. Yeah, it's 500 coin for 11 Sohi. So they're basically just like pikemen. Like,
is that H2?
Yeah, it's H2.
Right. So you sort of go in and like your opponent has no idea, and suddenly boom, you just like spawn 11 pikemen from the daimyo.
Yeah, it's like 11 pikemen plus like you can like train a batch of Nagis as well if you wanted to. So it's like 11 pikemen plus Nagis in your face or Ashis in your face. So it's kind of funny, but it's very all in. Like your eco's terrible.
Yeah, that's the thing though. It's something that's not going to be kind of the meta or something that's going to be super competitive. It's just something that you play around with, you have some fun with, and sometimes when it works out, it's just super hilarious.
Yeah, and it's like if obviously Japan is quite passive usually. So if someone's like booming up and then they just see like a daimyo coming towards them and then bam, it's just kind of funny.
I've actually had like another thing that I thought I'd ask, because I don't normally see Japan myself on the ladder that much. Why do you specifically love to play Japan? Is it the style of units? Is it the economy of and just the uniqueness of the civ itself, or what is it that draws you to play Japan?
There's quite a few reasons actually. I can't pinpoint it on one specific, but like one of them would be they have a lot of options. So for example, they can ship 3 boat, Kami, 2 Vil, and they can just like be aggressive. Like they can be like very aggressive, they can be somewhat aggressive, they can be greedy, they can be defensive. Like they can do pretty much everything.
Yeah.
And if you're like got the like macro micro management skills to pull them off, then it's really like a rewarding civ. Like you feel like you've deserved the win, kind of thing.
Awesome.
And their units are just I'm a big fan of musketeers myself. It's like one of my favorite units in this game. Yeah. So like speedy musks is I do like.
It's gotta be.
Yeah, yes. I mean like the reason they're fast is because they don't have goons, right? So they got to catch cav somehow.
Yeah.
But I do like my musketeer type units. So you can tell by like my favorite civs, it's like Japan, India, Russia, Brit, that sort of thing. So
yeah. Oh, fantastic! That's awesome. Yeah, I just thought I'd ask that question. I haven't before in previous masterclasses, but sometimes it's good to ask like what draws you to the civ and whether people whether people relate to that as well, or maybe there's something else that maybe people find interesting with the civ. So as I say, people that are watching on YouTube, make sure to let me know down in the comments if there's anything specifically, maybe something crucial that maybe Hazza has missed that you want to add in the comments. By all means do. It's helping all levels of players.
Yeah, I'm sure I have.
I mean, I've only given you 3, and there's probably like 10 specific things that you could, with some time, probably pull together. So 3 is a good number, and if there's any more, let us know down in the comments below so it can help other players out. All I've got to say is, Hazza, thanks very much for the time, man. It's been, just around 10, 12 minutes. Really appreciate it. And hopefully, this helps a lot of players out.
No worries, mate.
Awesome.
Pleasure.
Cheers.